So Andrew, you recently published a report talking about the trifecta, similar to what actually we were talking about earlier, supply chain constraints, the war, and the subsequent, tech kind of crisis. As we think about that in the community that engages with ECX, wanted to see, what are you seeing? I know you talked to many folks in the space. What are some common strategies for brand owners as they look to implement and kind of, work through these challenges?
Yeah, well, so first, this is from our recent Era of Uncertainty report. A lot of our clients have been coming to us, much like they did in the early days of the pandemic, amidst all this uncertainty, to try and make sense of it. So it was kind of cool. We came together, 12 analysts, each kind of bit off a chunk of this much bigger report. And we did the whole thing in about a week's time, which was really cool. So, I think when I think of what brands are doing, I mean, the first thing, obviously, amid inflation is they're raising prices because the cost of inputs are going up. You kind of have to do that, but you want to be careful about it because it is going to impact, how consumers spend. But you got to protect your margins to some extent. Right. Those that hold the line on prices, like a Walmart or Target, I know they're probably increasing prices more, but they kind of held the line as long as they could. That's a chance to win market share. So, I think this is an opportunity where I think there's going to be some short-term pain probably across the board. Some of that's inevitable. There is margin compression in times like this, but you can really set your business up for the long term. And so I would say the brands that and the retailers that can afford to do that should. That means continuing to spend on marketing into a recession. Time and time again, this holds true that if you keep spending, you will win market share. And as the market comes back, you get this huge rebound effect. So try and keep your eyes on kind of the ultimate prize. I think that's really to everyone's benefit. Most businesses are going to have to make cuts, right? We're seeing some signs of layoffs. I don't think we're seeing that kind of in the macro job numbers yet, but we are certainly seeing it on an ad hoc basis, and I'm sure there'll be more of that. I would say most businesses are better off kind of sticking to their core. Trim in areas where maybe you were experimenting and it's just not something that's going to bear fruit, especially not in this economic environment. Those are probably the smartest places to cut back. For brands, I think about, in boom times, you get these just like brand extensions in every direction, and a lot of them don't make sense. So to me, it's just a time to rationalize the business and say, okay, we spread our wings a little bit there. Let's pull it back a little bit and focus on the core.